Teven Jenkins. Carm touched on this a little bit earlier. We hadn't talked to him in a while, and he had a press conference today after practice, and he is certainly, as a player going into year 4, one of those dudes that you would talk about contract extensions with. And based on what he had to say today, his people have tried to engage in those talks, and right now there's nothing on the table. So I think this is a situation where Teven's going to have to earn it a little bit. He's been a pretty damn good player when he's on the field, but the durability and the health and the consistency of availability have always been sort of in question. What'd you make of those comments today, Carm?
I was surprised at how open he was about it. He gave the play-by-play. We called, they answered, there is no offer. That's where it's at. And then he was pushed on it like, hey, here's Jalen over there. He's got a deal and Cole's got a deal. So does this, make you feel good about it? Yeah. Every situation's different. Like, not really. I mean, yeah, they paid him. That doesn't mean they're going to pay me. And then I had a bad day today asking questions. I'd say I tried to ask 10 questions and got in 3.
Your seat selection wasn't great.
Bad. I mean, I added a degree of difficulty being in the far corner, so they're not hearing me. I got to think about my approach here. But it was interesting at the end. Like I had the same question that I wanted to ask to Teven, and Courtney Cronin asked it, which was, have you done anything differently with your workout regime this offseason? Because he does not. You watch him walk around, and he just kind of looks stiff. I don't know if you guys have the same. Just reaction. Like I think his body is challenging. He's talked about different stuff that he's tried to do for his back. So I was wondering if he had done anything differently, and his answer to that was no, not really. He just worked on his golf swing a little bit more than normal. So,
to be fair, Carm, that was a topic last year, and he did say last year that he was trying Pilates and all this stuff for the small back muscles, and
I was hoping that there was another. An add-on to what he's done because he's been hurt every year. I'm not saying there's some magic bullet out there for him, but it's not surprising to me that the Bears haven't offered Teven a long-term deal. I think he's got to go through this year. I think he's got to play well, and I think he's got to hit his goal, which is to be healthy all 17 games.
Yeah, and that's why when he was asked about his mindset, the first thing that came up was stay healthy. That's number one and the utmost importance, he said, and get through the whole 17 games. To be completely honest, I don't, just given Teven's history of just missing games, I doubt that happens. But I don't know if there's not really much dispute. If he's on the field, like he's producing, he's protecting whoever's playing quarterback at that time. Like Teven Jenkins, whether he's on the left side, right side, they flipped him around a bunch of times as he's been with the Bears. That's the biggest question with him. And that's why it wasn't surprising to hear that the Bears went too far with the contract talks, but yeah, he just needs to be on the field.
Yeah, I mean, and he said that straight up. What's the mindset? Stay healthy. Number one, utmost importance for me right now. Stay healthy, get through the whole 17 games, continue my strong play from last year, and be more of a consistent, reliable guy. So he kind of offered that up before it even was then asked about, like, hey, is this extension being talked about yet? So I think he understands where this is probably headed. He said, we reached out, but nothing is on the table. How do you feel about that? Up in the air. So,
yep.
But then when it came to his confidence level, he said, it shows me I can still be a top 10 guard. Left guard, right guard. He moved different spots, be versatile. And so I do think that last year, despite not being perfect from a health standpoint, was a confidence builder for Teven. I do think it was a step in the right direction. And, if he can take that to another level this year, I mean, first of all, I think that offensive line really needs that from him. Mm-hmm. But if he can, then even if it's not with the Bears, he's going to get a nice payday if he can put together 17 straight games.
Yeah, the right guard thing, too, that was interesting. He was asked about, well, if Nate can't get healthy, can you see yourself playing next to Darnell? He's like, well, not right now, but he didn't really rule it out. That's the part of what would be enticing if I'm the Bears. If he's willing to sign a team-friendly deal and you're betting on his health, well, you're getting, it's a risky play, but you're getting an elite guy when he's healthy. I mean, Teven is a violent, huge, important piece to the Bears when he's there. And that's the other part of it is if you're not signing him, you're just opening up another hole, and you've already got holes. But so it'd be a risky play to sign him. But if you could get it on a contract that's palatable to you, where you can get out of it, perhaps even after 1 year, I would be leaning into that if I was the Bears.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. The Bears have a lot of. I mean, they've added depth on the interior offensive line. You're seeing Matt Pryor playing at that guard spot. You're seeing even Ryan Bates when he's not at center. He's played the guard spot. You're seeing just a bunch of guys that, will play on the interior. So if you were to, offer up Teven a contract and knowing that he probably will go down, like there are guys in place. So it's going to be an interesting conversation, but it's all going to come down to can he be available for the 2024 season? If he can, then I think that's when those discussions can start to be had and seeing how he performs, obviously.
Can I tell you my favorite moment, though, from Teven's press conference?
Go ahead.
So
yes.
it had to do with the dinner. You know what I'm talking about? So he was apparently having dinner in Vernon Hills.
This is really cool. Listen in. This is cool.
Yeah. But so he's telling his story, and I guess he was there separately. He was not having dinner with Caleb Williams. He was there with his family, and Caleb Williams happened to be there too, having dinner separately. And Caleb came over to the table and said hi and introduced himself to his wife and his daughter and all this. But the part I loved is that Teven's sitting there being kind of how I tend to look. I live in Vernon Hills. I go out to dinner. I see Bears players at dinner, somewhat regularly. And I'm like, well, look, they're there with their family. I'm not going to go bother them right now. That's what Teven was doing with Caleb. He's like, oh, I don't want Caleb's here separately. I don't want to go bother my quarterback. But then Caleb came over to him, and like, I don't know why, but that feels like a Teven story to me. He's such a nice, cool dude. Like, he is somebody you really want to root for. And I think a lot of Bears fans feel that way. Because there's certainly been players that have dealt with health issues that fans just get so annoyed with, to the point that there's plenty of guys like that that I feel about with the White Sox right now, if I'm being completely honest, as a fan. And in his case, I feel like most Bears fans are like, man, can we just get this guy healthy? Because he's somebody you really want to root for.
We all silly like the mayor.